Hi everyone, welcome to Mermaid Radio. You are listening to this next 2 weeks universal energy reading using the 16 Cowrie and the Veve prophecy cards. I am Mami Olufunke. This reading will be in effect from today, Monday, June 5th, through Sunday, June 18th, 2023. Let's get started. The universal energy reading starts with 7 Cowrie on the mat and Azaka Maza in the Veve prophecy cards. This reading says we have dreams, goals, and visions, and we have to focus on them. And really, we don't have enough energy that we're going to be able to help other people with their dreams, goals, and visions. It will be too much to ask of yourself and the spirits that be at this time for you to run yourself too thin. You're going to have to really make sure you mind your business, because you don't want to get caught up having to help people and then still you have to come home and work on what is important to you, because you might find yourself giving yourself less than you should be able to if you follow this reading. Exhaustion is a possibility for those of us who have to try to help everybody or anybody other than themselves. The next part of the reading sees 5 Cowrie on the mat and Obatala Orumila in the Veve prophecy cards. This says stand alone, but it conflicts with the idea of 5 Cowrie, which is Oshun, the party, the networking, the gathering. For business or pleasure, it would be better if you go on your own. I mean, some of us feel that on our own is dangerous and we don't want to get caught out there. But if we handle ourselves and we don't over imbibe drinking and not to be too happy or too sad, singleness can work for us at this time, because the people that are watching and that may be important to you promoting yourself will want to see you as you are, without distractions of a girlfriend or a boyfriend or a husband or a wife. And hopefully those people will trust you to go out alone and get back home safe and sound. Yes, singleness is in order in networking situations. And the last part of the reading sees 7 Cowrie on the mat and Azaka Ezilio Shun. 7 Cowrie speaks about Yemaya and Ogun meeting in a forest, where Yemaya is screeching and screaming loud and making noise, scaring away any prey who might be in the area that Ogun could capture. So he runs through the forest to find the source of this screaming, and there she is, with her head in her lap, sitting by a tree, crying. So he says, "Ugh, who are you and why are you crying?" "I am Yemaya, and I cry because no one will marry me because I have only one breast." And he says, "Oh, please. No one will marry me because I have these blood red eyes." And indeed, he did have red eyes, which she hadn't noticed because she was so busy crying. And he looked at her and said, "Oh, she's cute. I can deal with the one breast." And she looked at him and said, "Oh, he's cute. I can deal with the red eyes." And so they got married and they moved in together and lived in a house. Yemaya was very industrious, and she worked hard around the house to make meals and keep the place tidy and within her duties, yes. And he worked in the forge, and everything was wonderful. And she used to go to market once a week, or whenever the market days were. She would pick up this load of palm wine or corn liquor, and she would go to the market. So as she went to the market and he would And then she would run home and she'd drop her load and go to the kitchen and cook a meal. Ogun decided he was going to surprise her with a meal. So he went into the kitchen and he got his goat and his, what he wanted to cook for her. And he went into the kitchen and he pulled down her pots. And he thought that they were iron because they were black. And he pulled down one, broke it up. He pulled down another. And this went on until the kitchen was in a mess. And before he could get it cleaned up and figure out what he was going to say, Yemaya arrived home and saw her kitchen wrecked and ruined and said, "You with your red eyes." And he was so insulted. They had promised they wouldn't speak of each other in anger or in jest. And said to her, "Well, you with your one saggy breast." And on hearing that, Yemaya ran off into the forest and was so upset. She zigzagged and eluded Ogun, fell down and became 3 running streams. So Ogun found the streams, but he never again did find Yemaya to apologize or to try to tell her what exactly had happened. And so 7 Cowries here talks about aggravation, over making promises you can't keep, over not being able to keep your word, over getting angry and speaking before you ask questions, over, being aggravated about allowing someone to take up your time when you really want to get to something else. So here, don't make promises you can't keep. This next 2 weeks is going to be really, really a little tough on us because of the reading. Personally, each individual person, it's going to be hard. We'll be too tired to listen to other people's problems and they might get offended. We will need to go out alone, and so we might have a partner at home offended. And if we try to surprise somebody at work or any kind of way, come to their house unannounced or anything like that, we can get in a lot of hot water, or when you try to do things that are not called for. So you have to be very careful this week, and that you don't get aggravated. And if you do, try to mind your tongue and speak with questions rather than accusing. And especially don't talk about people's shortcomings, height, weight, character flaws, and all of this. Don't bother to mention it this week because people won't be able to understand. They might get aggravated, and there goes your friendship. There goes your babysitter. There goes your taxi driver. There goes, the people who support you in your life. Ashe. This has been Mami Olufunke's Universal Energy Reading. I thank you for joining me this time. I thank everyone for tuning in and listening to MermaidRadio on YouTube. If you like this information and find it useful, please like, subscribe, add notifications to know when the next video is available. Have a great next 2 weeks, everyone. I send you into the world with love, grace, and the blessings of Orumila. Ashe.